What's going on? This is Cody, and you are tuned in to B-Boy 45, broadcasting from the Seacrest Studios. You guys all know Maya. She's famous around here. She, of course, hosts the latest news to keep you in the groove. Maya, how are you?
I'm great.
You're just like kind of super good.
Yeah.
And why is that? Do we have a guest on the phone ready to talk to us?
Yes.
Who is it?
Chris Weaver from The Voice.
Oh my gosh, Chris, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, Maya. So good to hear from you.
Well, we are so excited to have you. Maya, what are you wondering about from this guy?
I was wondering what the process was like to get on The Voice. Like to get to the blind audition.
Well, it was, luckily this time around, I've auditioned twice in the open calls. Luckily this time around, I got the opportunity to do a private audition. And they were interested in having me move interviews and, got to know me a little better. And then I flew out to LA for executive auditions. And then they let us know that they wanted us to audition for live. So, I mean, so it was a pretty, actually it wasn't really time consuming. It was actually, everything happened pretty fast. But it was quite the process.
That is so cool. So this was the second time you've auditioned, so they already knew you.
This is the third time.
Oh, the third time. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I've auditioned for the open calls in Chicago and New York. And the funny story is, I actually got the same producer for both auditions in Chicago and New York.
That's cool.
Yeah. So were the blind auditions terrifying?
There were days when, and I always say in the moment of blind auditions, you never know what the coaches are looking for. So there were days where it was like, you're really confident about what's going to happen. And there were days you were like, well, what if I'm not what they're looking for today? But honestly, the thing that got me through was you have one chance once you get on stage for the blind auditions. And I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'm either going to go up there as if I'm doing it for the rest of my life, or I'm going to go up there and be scared. So I chose to just, take the road to say, this is really what I want to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it like to get 4 chairs to turn around?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't realize 4 chairs had turned until I was done. I think I pretty much blacked out halfway through the performance because it was just it's like you're here, you're in this moment, this is happening, and I remember Adam turning around, and I remember Jennifer turning around. And I was like, there's no turning back. You're here already, and so I just gave it my heart, just went for it, just tuned everything out, and by the time the song was done, I opened my eyes, and Miley and Blake were turned around, and I was just like, this, I was like, this is crazy. Of course, this is a dream for a lot of singers out in the world, but when it actually becomes a reality, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, there's probably hardly any words for it, huh?
No, I mean, really, you're standing there speechless. You don't know what to say. You want to cry. You want to smile. You want to laugh. You don't know what to do.
Yeah. So did you know which coach you wanted before the blind auditions?
I went in pretty confident that I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted a big chair. But of course, after you get done speaking, and there are 4 chairs, each coach gives a critique. And Adam really almost sold. I mean, Adam made some very valid points. But I had to go with my heart, and I realized that Jennifer, we come from a similar background. But I think the key factor was I'm standing on a stage of a singing competition on TV where exactly she stood. So that was the deciding factor for me to know. You literally have been through most of the process that I've been through, and look where you are today.
Maya, what did you think of his choice?
Yeah, I liked his choice.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah. I was like, it's between Jennifer and Miley.
Who would have been your second? Adam would have been your second choice?
Adam would have been my second. But what's so funny is that I get that a lot. A lot of people thought in that moment that it would have been between Jennifer and Miley. And as I said, all gave valid points. But for me at the moment, it was between Jennifer and Adam. And so, I just went with my gut and took the leap.
Cool. Yeah. So, what's it like working with Jennifer Hudson as your coach?
Jennifer Hudson is probably one of the most sweetest people and down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. Of course, in your head, you're like, wow, this is Jennifer Hudson standing in front of you. But in your interaction, it's just like, just being with a friend, or just being with, just someone who you've hung out with before. So it was comforting. It was easy, and it was easy to just be me, because she made it that.
Well, Maya has interviewed quite a few people, and we've become pretty big fans of a lot of people that make us feel just like we're sitting in their living room with them.
Right, right. And I think that's the key. That is the key thing. When you can meet people who understand they are celebrity, but understand they're people too. And I think that was one of the most admiring qualities that I loved about Jennifer Hudson.
Cool. I was wondering if one of the big things that made you choose her as your coach was her throwing her shoe at you.
It definitely was, because in the interviews before the blind audition, I talked about how she did that 2 years ago, prior to me doing the audition. Me growing up in church, that I was no stranger to that. And so, as I said on the show, when you get a shoe thrown at you, that means you're in. So that's like the highest compliment you could get. So I was just like, okay, so this is happening, and she loves it. And so that definitely factored into my decision as well.
And then it was Jennifer Hudson's shoe. It just wasn't any old buddy's shoe. It was Jennifer Hudson's shoe.
Well, she threw Miley's shoe. Threw Miley's shoe.
Oh,
yeah. I was going to say it was actually Miley's shoe.
Oh, she's like, no, I'm not giving you my shoe, but I'll take Miley's.
The fact that it wasn't even her shoe, that she told somebody else to give her a shoe to throw. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who are your musical inspirations?
Musical inspiration. So I love soul music. I am an old school R&B soul listener. Patti LaBelle is definitely a queen. She is everything. I listen to a lot of Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, all those old R&B singers. I felt like they just gave so much when they sang. So that's really where I put a lot of my inspiration from.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Who would be your dream collaborator?
Oh, there's so many. But my number one would be Patti LaBelle. Just to be on a stage and interact with the audience with her, I think I would be satisfied for life. I wouldn't even need to do anything else. Like if I had to be like poor somewhere for the rest of my life, that would be fine, because I got to sing on the stage with Patti LaBelle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a singer on The Voice that you're really close with?
What's so funny? Actually, this season, we heard from a lot of different people working that this was probably one of the most close-knit seasons in all 13 seasons of The Voice. It was just, we just got to know each other, and we all bonded. I would definitely say Davon was my roommate, and so we spent and actually I just talked to him yesterday. and we all stay in contact. And Eric Lind and Ignatius and Katrina, it's just like we're all family now.
That's a big family you've got.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's great, and that and we're all quirky and crazy in our own ways, and it's just it's hysterical, but it's absolutely amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. What singing experience did you have before you auditioned for The Voice?
Well, I grew up singing in church all my life, so I got to do that, and I was in middle school and high school choir, and then when I went to college, I was in all the vocal ensembles there, and then once I got to college, I got to study abroad in London for a couple of months, and I ended up singing with the London Community Gospel Choir for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So that was an absolutely amazing experience. Just to see their credit, like most of the big name artists that came through there that needed choirs, that's who they would use. I don't even know if you remember the movie Love Actually. I remember watching that and seeing that opening scene with the choir and joining the choir and be like, oh my gosh, wait, these people look so familiar because they were from the choir. And so that was it was mind-blowing experience to be like, oh wow, this is happening, and you're in a different country. And you're living your dream here as well.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I lost what question I was on.
That's okay.
Thanks. Okay. What is your favorite song to rock out to?
Oh, that is a tough question. Favorite song? I don't know if I have a favorite. There's too many.
Give us a top three. Can you give us a top three?
Okay, top three. Definitely Try a Little Tenderness. It's definitely on my top three. I love. Ooh. I grew up in church. I'm a big hymn singer. I love singing hymns. "'Tis So Sweet, Trust in Jesus" is definitely another one. And "Superstition" by Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, okay. Got it.
Oh, that's a great. It's just a great showstopper number. It's amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Who is your favorite singer and who is your favorite band?
So
I wish I would have prepared for these. Favorite singer. Let's see. Right now, I would say probably my favorite singer right now is probably Abby Smith. And I know she's just getting into the scene, really. But if you go on like Instagram or YouTube and type in Abby Smith, her voice is absolutely amazing. And so she's my favorite singer right now. My favorite band. Oh, that's a tough one.
you can say Maroon 5. It's fine.
Okay. But they really do come up with great music that is just great to groove to. That you can't help, no matter where you are in your car, in the mall, when you hear it, just to get into it. So yeah, I mean, it definitely would be probably Maroon 5 right now.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your favorite concert that you've ever been to?
Oh, favorite concert. I realized living in New York that I don't go to enough concerts. But a couple of weeks ago, I was at the Global Citizen. I was able to go to the Global Citizens concert. Oh, actually, no, I'll tell you. My favorite concert I ever went to, it was a couple of months ago here in New York City at the City Center. I got to see Diana Ross live. And it was amazing. It was like, she hadn't lost anything, and everything was just still there. The presence, the power, just the experience of it. It was great. There were people sitting behind me, so I had to keep sitting down. But I mean, it was hard not to just stand up the whole time.
Yeah, that would be incredible for sure. Talk about one of the all-time greats.
She's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What is the coolest thing about being on The Voice?
So this is probably twofold. It's the coolest and the most surreal right now. It's being in New York City and posting pictures from the show and people thinking you're in LA, but you're actually in New York, and then they see you and then just shell shocked. But I'd say the absolute coolest thing is just being out places in different places, and people are staring at you, and you're thinking, do I have something in my nose? Am I, is there something wrong right now? But then and it's great because people, some people say, aren't you on The Voice? But most people just come up to you and say, they'll say something like, I just want to say you slayed last night, and so it's just so surreal to know that, it's one of the biggest singing competition in the nation right now. But to understand, to be in that moment and be in that situation where people are literally just coming up to you and saying, "Oh my gosh, I know who you are," it's weird because I remember when I was younger and I was in that point when you see somebody who you saw on TV or a singer that you like, and you go, hold on, you don't want to make a scene, so you go up and whisper and say, "Are you who I think you are?" So it's just to be in that spot now is humbling, but it's absolutely amazing. It's crazy.
That's so cool to have worked so hard, so long, and then now to be being recognized, which is incredible.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maya says she'd be running up to you. Try not to make a scene, but she might make a scene.
Probably.
Anytime. Actually, this morning we went to Starbucks. Some friends and I, and my friends are nuts. So we walk in and my friend goes, "Chris Weaver from The Voice," and I was like, "Don't you do that?" And the man cleaning the sidewalk goes, "Oh my gosh, it is you," and he goes, "My wife is absolutely in love with you, and it's her birthday on Friday." And he was like, "Would you mind making a video and singing happy birthday to her?" And I did it. She sent a message on Instagram today, and she was just like, "I cannot believe that my husband pulled this off." So just to be in that predicament, to hear people say stuff like that is like, this is real. This is happening.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Who do you, okay, my last question is, who do you consider to be a real life superhero and why?
Real life superhero. I honestly have to say both of my parents. We've gone through ups and downs, and there were days when it was, not the greatest and not always easy financially or, whatever. And just to have my parents here in this moment, to know, because they know I've always had a passion for music. And I know there were days that, as any parent would, you're like, let's find something more realistic for you to do, So to be in this moment with them and to have just the overwhelming support, because it's like I fought for what I wanted, and now we're winning, and we're here. And so to share that with them and to see the sacrifices that they had to make, I'm sure there are days where they're like, maybe we should take this music class. Maybe we should take this, practical class for life lessons. But to be here and to experience the joy with them of knowing that the sacrifices that they have made have paid off and they were worth it. I think that's amazing because you realize so many people don't really have a support system. I've talked to singers who gave up their jobs, their full-time jobs of being nurses and whatever, to pursue music because that's where their heart was, and their family has turned their back on them. So for my parents to have to make those sacrifices throughout my life and to finally see the fruit of that is really absolutely amazing to me because, you realize it's just as hard as on your parents as it is for you.
That's something good to, realize and remind all of us for sure that your parents are definitely sacrificing as well, and they want to see you succeed just as much as you do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maya, you got anything else for this guy? She's like, so here's how this goes, okay, Chris? I asked Maya this question, and she's like, yes, Cody, I'd like to keep him on the phone for 45 minutes, asking every question I ever wanted to know. But Cody, you told me I couldn't keep him that long. So she's giving me the look like I do, but you told me I don't. So, so that's what that is. She's like, Cody, don't start with me.
Maya, I love it. I love it.
What else, buddy?
Well, I just wanted to say that thank you for calling in and letting me interview you because you are my favorite on The Voice. And the moment, like, when you came on The Voice, I was like, the moment you came on, I was like, I want to interview him. I'm going to interview him.
Oh, my God. Well, now I'm sitting here in tears.
And just so you know, she has a weekly show here where she highlights stars and up-and-coming talent and people to watch out for and stuff like that. And literally the day after you were on the show, she was like, I got to tell you about this guy. And we were like, oh, we didn't see the show last night. Tell us.
Yeah, I was like, you have to download his blind audition because it's on iTunes and you have to download it.
You literally made my day. Made my day.
Well, you made our day calling in. Yeah. Thank you so much. We love getting to talk to you, and it's just been awesome having you on the phone.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it.
Now, next time you're in Denver, you swing by here and see us, okay?
Listen, I sure will. I will make it my duty.
That's awesome. Well, Maya has a show every week. She'd love to interview you in person right here on her show. But we are so glad you called in. Thanks for spending time with us right here at Seacrest Studios. Chris Weaver on the phone. So
awesome.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.